if I receive Christ or not? It makes all the difference in eternity. That's what it makes. All the difference in eternity is made by a decision you make with Jesus Christ. If you receive him, you pass from death to life. And when Jesus Christ comes back, the dead in Christ raised first, then those who are alive and remain come and join him in the heirs. Listen, he gives life to your mortal bodies through the Spirit that dwells in you. The only way you'll have everlasting life is if the Spirit of God dwells in you. If he doesn't dwell in you, you will never, ever have life. Matter of fact, when you get to Revelation, read through the bottom of it, the back of it, it says this is a second death. Those who die without Christ have to stand and face judgment, and then they get the second death. They already died without Christ. What's the second death? They are thrown into a lake of fire, and they're tormented day and night forever and ever. That is the second death. Anyone whose name is not found written in the book of life, those who receive Christ, they're not in the book of life. They're judged according to your works. They're thrown in the lake of fire, and there's no chance of escaping. That's all they have to look forward to, is judgment with no way out. It says once again, Christ, if you received him, gives life to your mortal bodies through his Spirit dwells in you, and we ought to live out that life now. If the Spirit of God is indwelling us, don't you think other people ought to see God in us? I mean, if he's there, shouldn't you see him in there? Shouldn't you see him on a regular basis? Absolutely. The fruit of the Spirit ought to be produced in a believer's life on a regular basis. So people, when they come in contact with you, what should they see? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faith, and self-control. They ought to see that on a regular basis. If you're not living out, one of two problems. First of all, either you don't know him, which is a big problem, or you're walking in the flesh and not the Spirit. That's another problem. Now, both of them are problems. The bigger problem is not knowing Jesus Christ. Believe me, that's your biggest problem. That's an internal problem. Internal and eternal. That can be changed. That can be rectified. You can receive Jesus Christ, have your sins forgiven, and that can change. However, for the believer, we need to let the Spirit of God, we need to choose life. We need to let him have control. And some of you may be battling something. Maybe you're going through this one thing. You say, oh, if I could just get over this. Listen, if the Spirit of God dwells you, you have power to get through anything Satan throws at you. You might need some help, but let me tell you, you got all the help you're going to get already. If the Spirit of God dwells in you, if God's there, he'll set you free. And who the Lord sets free, what? They're free indeed. But I got wrapped up in sin. I understand that. But the Spirit of God is still there to set the captives free. What you have to do is choose life. You have to choose life.